I found one of the best drivers in the UK to teach me more than I ever thought possible behind the wheel. Don't let the old man facade fool you. He may look like a mild-mannered grandad, but he's an absolute demon behind the wheel.
Observations make you smooth. Smooth makes you fast and great and safe.
Is that right, Grandad? Just to let you know, I've got you some Old Spice there to keep you cool. Roll the video. We've dealt with countless fails where we've been picking dead children up off the floor or being at someone that's been run over, and then as soon as you get in your car and you go from A to B, you don't think about anything, because the idea is you're driving the vehicle, you're at one with the vehicle, and that's the difference. You put everything out of your mind and you drive with an open mind. So this video now is going to be about performance driving, upping the ante, getting your skills gone. Tell me about cornering, because we can use all the road, and we're going to see in this video how we use the road, how we use the road for our own benefits, how we use the road for vision as well, and getting the proper observation. So tell me about using the road now, Paul.
Well, I've got a clear vision here, left and right. I've got oncoming vehicle, I've got entrances both sides. We're on a bus route. I'm looking for the white van up there, checking mirror. Mirrors seem to be clear. Now we've got, once again, a tight corner coming up here. It's bearing to the left, so I want to match my speed to the vision. So I can go out a little bit and just get the gear sorted out. Now, as I'm getting there, the vision's opening up on the exit. So seeing the pedestrian there and accelerating away after the hazard. Now we've got another corner coming up to the left. I'm getting a cross view and approach to this corner, and so I can get a little bit of extra vision. I'm going to sit out just a little bit here on the right hand side. This is not illegal, by the way, folks, and I'm going to trim it back over now to the left hand side in case there's an oncomer. So position, speed, gear, balancing the car through the curve, matching the speed to the vision, opening up on the exit of the bend. And it's all about the vision on the exit of the bend to sit into harmony with the acceleration you're going to be using.
But it's clearly apparent is you're doing commentary.
Yeah.
We use commentary in pursuits. Commentary is a good way to say what you see and feel you're driving. Just listen to yourself again. Let's listen to Paul do commentary, and how important is commentary, Paul, to get you driving to a top limit.
It can be the next level of driving. Okay, I'm coming up now, just looking at the sign. What's the sign telling us? We've got a series of bends, or double bends first to the left. So I'm trimming speed now with such a fine brake, checking mirror, position, speed. I'm going to trim down to 2 gears here. I'm doing a block change from 6 into 3rd. Once again, matching speed to vision, balancing the car through the turn, getting the exit view, looking up there, picking my eyes up, looking at what's down the exit. I'm going to kick the gear for the next corner. Think about position, speed, gear again, matching the speed to the vision, just balancing the car through the turn. And then we just got a slight crest here, so just holding back on the power because I can't see over the crest. Okay, and then we got a sign, bend to the right, check mirror, position, speed. We're okay with the speed. Off the brake, just touching the throttle now. And as the vision opens up on the exit, we can trim a bit of road here now, just to go in a straight line rather than follow the actual turn.
Mindset, attitude, behaviour, emotional stability is 70% of the safety equation. And I'm not joking. The other 30% are skills.
There's a massive thing when people say, I'm taking the racing line. Well, you're not. You're taking the line of least resistance. You're trying to make the easiest approach through a set of bends so your vehicle becomes as stable as possible.
Yes.
There's a difference. When people say, that's not a racing line, well, sorry, we're not at Spa, we're not at Donington, and I'm not driving an F1 car. It's completely different.
I've got to say, Ben, that is a great comment. No, and I tell you for why it's a great comment. On a country road, there's no such thing as the apex. We're not on a race circuit. It's a different skill set. Okay, forget the apex thing. Forget you've even said it. I mean, just last week I read somebody was on about I did all my great apexing on this country road. Excuse me, there's no such thing as an apex on a country road. You need to get the lines right, and it's not an apex. There's no such thing. It's all about where you start and where you finish, and you need to be tight on the exit.
So we've gone through these videos now from back to basics, stepping it up, now performance driving and getting out there. Explain where your limit point is and what you're looking at.
Basic limit point is, what can I see? It's where the near side curve meets the offside curve at that limit point. Now, as you're drawing closer to the bend, and there's a bend coming up here now, which is going to be great for showing that, if that bend is opening up at the same rate of knots or the same speed as you're closing, you've already got you've already got your safe speed for that bend sorted out in the straight line well in advance of the corner. If the limit point stays static, you need to be losing a lot more speed because your limit point is what we call closing down. So you've got to now, okay, we can say get position, get speed, get gear. I'm happy with third gear here. Just trimming off, the vision limit point is now opening up lovely. So just balancing the car through the turn. When the vision says I can accelerate at the end of a bend, always be tight on the exit, and then you can use your accelerator just to enjoy the car and get engaged with the car. Once again, another limit point here. It's opening up lovely as I'm approaching, at the same speed as I am approaching. So my speed for this corner is absolutely spot on. And that was like 50 yards, 100 yards before the bend. So if you get to know limit points and start practicing that on every country road, oncoming traffic here, making sure he's staying on the side of the road, and he wasn't. So that's why we're just putting that safety margin in there for it.
If you put your hands out to directly side you and wiggle your fingers, you can see your fingers even though you look forward. So when you're driving a car, why do you have to drive looking that way when you can drive looking that way and still drive there? Because you can see everything in this radar. That's how you see a hazard. That's how you can drive smoothly. That's how you can stop in distance you can see to be clear. And then when you've got that, you can make a plan, and planning's about advanced driving. So everything interlinks with one or the other.
And that's what we have to do. Never mind what he's doing, it's what we're doing. Okay? Sharing your skills for these people.
One thing I always say, Paul, is you've always got to trust your judgment. If it's not safe, it's not safe. But if it is safe and it's clear and it's happy to go, you go.
Yeah.
You trust your judgment, but then you've always got to analyse your answer. You sit back afterwards and go, what could I have done differently for that moment in time? Could I have held back a little bit more? Could I have stayed out a little bit more into the offside lane? Could I give a bit more throttle? Because one thing that people don't realise is to brake a car, you don't always have to use your brake. You can use throttle control and gears. That's a massive difference, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you said something once again great there, Ben, in as much as like you're evaluating your own performance. That is how you become a great driver. Have a look at yourself, have a look into yourself. Why are you doing it that way? What's happened? And then analyse at the end of it, thinking like, oh, hold on a minute, that was a bit fast, or that wasn't right because of X, Y, Z reason. And at the end of the day, get inside yourself and start looking at yourself and thinking to myself, I'm just not good enough on that, so I'm going to practice. Set yourself them goals next time you go out. This is going to be the best drive I've ever given. And that's what you need to be doing. And look, enjoy it, engage with it, and become the driver you actually want to be. Self-analyse yourself and do the self-assessment. It can be absolutely dynamite what you can find out about yourself. It really, really can.
You are your best critique.
Oh,
you are your best reason. And if you're mentally on the game, your driving's happy, you won with a car, you will sit there. These are the bends as well, like these.
Yeah.
You will sit there and you will say, right, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong. I will learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
When we had manual V6 VXRs, we'd say this is a third gear corner.
Yeah.
And we would always leave 5% in reserve. We would only drive to 95% of the limits, and that's what you should always do. Always leave 5% in reserve just in case it goes wrong.
And it's that what if factor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make it work for you. Make it work for you, and it will work for you.
Right, last but not least on this video, now we've stepped it up and we are nearly at the top of the game. Tell us about braking. Are we braking before we're coming into the corner? Are we braking after the corner? What is trail braking? What is cadence braking? How do we use ABS? Let me know now.
Basically, I'd like to say to everybody, there's only one way of braking, that's progressive. In an emergency, we used to have, when there was non-ABS cars around, and there's quite a few classics that don't have ABS, of course, is that what they call it cadence braking. And it's a rhythmic pumping of the brake pedal. So you basically wheel lock, release the wheel lock, release the wheel lock. And basically you've got some steering control when the wheels start rotating. And that's what they call cadence braking. But now I'm going to come up to a corner here now. And if I wanted to trail brake into that corner, it's a really, really advanced technique. So I'm thinking about position, I'm thinking about speed. I'm knocking it down a gear, but I'm going to go into the corner actually on the brakes here. Okay? So the nose is dipping in, and it won't create understeer at that speed. But if you're going under 10 miles an hour, it'll create understeer, and your steering's not going to be what it should be, because you're basically putting all the weight onto the front wheels, which is not what you want to be doing. Get the braking done in a straight line prior to the bend. That's the way the experts do it.
Being an ex-racing driver with formula cars and tin tops, what you find out, the faster you go, the smoother you need to be. This is why sometimes, like Formula One drivers, Alan Prost, Jenson Button, and in today's thing, Max Verstappen, super smooth, so they can carry more speed around. And every time every time there's a gear change, every time there's a steering input, or every time there's an application of the power, you can't feel it, and it's just like running water from a tap. That's what you need to be doing. So the faster you drive, the smoother you need to be. You can develop smoothness literally within a week, so you can't feel a gear change. And it's just like we're talking about later on, heeling and towing and sustain rev gear changing, which makes that gear change so smooth you can't feel it. It is possible. In fact, it's pretty easy. But all you want to do is have that diligence, and that diligence will dig deep into yourself. Look at these new skills and think to yourself, I can do that, so let's get it done.
So we'll go on a circuit, yeah, we'll learn how to trail brake because it's the next level of driving. On a road, is there any need for trail braking? To be frank with you, no. But at the end of the day, if you want to learn it, you need to be a super school driver who understands vehicle dynamics, vehicle inertia, moving mass, and dealing with car control and what it means and what the car's doing. And when you know, I train test drivers, development engineers for Aston Martin, Lotus, Hyundai over in South Korea, JLR, you know, hundreds of them basically. But at the end of the day, it's all about that next level of training. You've got to get to that type of thing. So I suggest that you don't do these super advanced techniques where you might be in deeper than what you think you are and cause a crash. That's not what we're all about.
Thank you for watching, and if you like what you see and you're learning, please like, follow and subscribe.
Paul, look forward to seeing you next time. Stay safe, okay? Bye.
You've heard it from the master.